Welcome everyone to this, our fifth and final segment of Improvising Through Lent. Today's idea is a pretty cool one. It is a phrase, it is the fifth tenet or core principle of improvisation. And that phrase is, bring a brick, okay? And to think of it even sort of wider, bring a brick, we'll build the house together. I love this idea. In improv, it's so freeing, right? It is sort of trying to celebrate this idea that you don't have to have everything figured out. You don't need to come into a scene or a game and have the entire thing figured out from beginning to end. You don't need to know where the story is going to go. You don't need to know where the jokes exist. You don't need to know how we're going to end up. You don't need to know any of that. In fact, you can't. You can't come into the scene with a cathedral. You can only come into the scene with a brick. So you bring one thing. You bring who you are. You bring a characterization. You bring a choice. You bring a gift. And that's what we like to talk about in improv, is this idea of offering gifts and then accepting the gifts that are offered to us. So when we say bring a brick, that's the main idea. That idea is that you're going to bring one gift and that's it. You're going to offer it up and then somebody's going to accept it and offer another brick in return. And then over the course of time, we build a scene together. We build a discovery together. We create something together that never existed before. But the only way to do that is to start with a brick and not bring in your own creation. And it frees you up. It is incredibly liberating to recognize that the pressure of the world, the weight of the world, is not on our shoulders. All we need to do is bring a brick. That's all we've signed up for, is just bring who we are, bring what we have to offer, and then trust that that will lead into the proverbial construction of a cathedral. When we look at this in the context of faith, I think the parallels, once again, are pretty clear. That is what's asked of us, right? Regardless of our denomination, our specific religion, as people of faith, what is asked of us is to bring a brick, right? To bring who we are, and then trust that those we love, those we're in relationship with, and our God will be able to take that and turn it into this magnificent temple, this magnificent cathedral. If we bring the brick, we can build the house together. And it frees us up to figure out who we are. It frees us up to not feel like we need to do everything, but that we can do one thing and do it really well. The Jesuits have a Latin phrase, age quod agis, or age quod agis, depending on the pronunciation. Do what you do. And I think that encompasses a lot of things. It encompasses this idea of the value of showing up every day, the value of doing what you're doing, right? Even the simple, the menial things have meaning along the way. But it's also more generously translated into do well whatever it is you do. And it's that idea of, if we're able to find out what our brick is, we can focus on doing that thing as best as we possibly can. We can do well the thing that we do. And then we give that over as a gift. And as St. Irenaeus tells us, right, the greatest glory to God is the human person fully alive. That's what happens when we just worry about bringing a brick. We figure out these things that we're good at, what these talents are, how to get better and better, and then how to offer them so that together we might be able to build the house, right? It also makes me think of so many prayers. Romero's Ministers to the Future, right? To recognize we are the workers, not the master builders. We are the brick, not the entire house. We are prophets of a future that is not our own. It is about the work now. It's about planting those seeds. It is about offering that brick and trusting that the mystery lies beyond us. And that's the thing, and I think that's what unites all religions. We are coming to the end of Lent today. Today celebrates Passion Sunday, right? Jesus' entrance into Jerusalem and then his subsequent suffering, death, and resurrection. But regardless of what religion you are, I think that's what unites so many of us as a human community, as a global family, is mystery. And it's a beautiful thing. Sometimes it scares us, but that's why we have faith. That's why we have religion, is because this beautiful mystery that will always exist. So that's it. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. For those of you who did, I want to thank you for letting me ramble sometimes. And I want to thank you for embracing the possibility that improvisation and faith might be closer than all of us think. So take good care, love yourselves, love one another, and for the love of God, yes and.